on it. I don't use marijuana, but I know a lot of people who do and who love it. And I think that if used in like moderation, I think it's totally great.
My view on marijuana legalization. Okay. Well, I'm from Washington State, where it's already legal, and I voted to legalize it, so obviously I support the legalization of marijuana. I think that the reason I voted for legalization is that it's an opportunity for farmers or anyone in Washington to grow marijuana and sell it, and so it brings business and agriculture or whatever you want to call it. Further, I think it's anything that gets us less dependent on Mexico and drug cartels and all the violence that goes along with that is great. And further, I think that like arresting people for smoking marijuana or the sale of marijuana just got sort of like petty at a certain point, and it was like this drug is not doing the same damage that like heroin, methamphetamine, cocaine is doing typically. And so to have people facing the same punishments for those drugs as they are for heroin and methamphetamines didn't make sense in my head.
How do you feel about marijuana?
I feel really positively about it. I think there's a lot of drugs that we give people, like pain medications, that are very habit forming. And like if you can replace a Percocet or like something like that with a medication like marijuana that is not habit forming or less habit forming, I think that's great. You know, those pain medications.
What about the marijuana's medical use?
I think that it could be really useful and important for people suffering from chronic pain of some kind. I think that it should absolutely be employed if it will relieve people's pain.
Do you support the legalization of marijuana for recreational use?
For recreational use?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Why would you?
I think that it's ridiculous that our country puts so many resources toward like policing this substance that is relatively benign when there are so many other problems where we could be diverting our funds, and there's so many other things that I think our police force should be focusing their energy.
As a substance, do you consider marijuana
Yes, they have very different effects on the body, and none of them are really good for you to do. But when you're picking your poison, I think they're all equal.
What kind of effect do you think the legalization of marijuana would have on society?
I think it would save a lot of money. I think, yeah, that it's just a tremendous waste of resources to criminalize the substance that's really not that dangerous. And I think that it would, yeah, and I think that also it would increase like safety around this this substance that, like, I think there's a lot of like danger and I think there's a lot of like danger in like sort of like this like drug trade, but I think that could be prevented if it would be done.
I don't really know. I guess I don't change that much. But I think the important part really with marijuana is if we're gonna legalize it and have it be like alcohol, then start a conversation of what is too much, you know? Because I think there's a different with alcohol. It's like if you're drinking alcohol every day, that's too much, and people know that. You know, they're drunk all day. But I think a lot of people who smoke weed think it's okay to be like high all day long, and that's also abuse of something that. So I think if we're gonna legalize weed, we need to have a conversation about limits and how to measure that and how to keep it up. And I think if you're gonna smoke marijuana every day, it's gonna affect your life badly because you're not gonna want to do anything else. I mean, that's what marijuana does to people. They just want to like hang out, eat food, and smoke marijuana. So like that's bad. But smoking a cigarette every day is eventually going to give you cancer and kill you and destroy all of your health. So I don't know. I jokingly say to my friends like it might be better if you smoke marijuana than a cigarette. It's not better. It's just a cigarette is going to get you hooked and you're going to do it every day. And if marijuana is something you do once a week or a couple times a month, you know, like not an everyday thing. That's my philosophy, is that all of these like things that are, you know, little evils, or evil's a bad word, but little, you know, they're not good for us. If we can do them less, but still maybe do them if we want to, then that's better than